You want to say hi?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, we're having a little doggy feud going on right now.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, we're going live.
We're going live.
It is noon. I'm gonna go settle the dogs.
We're so sorry. Their timing couldn't be worse. But anyway, hope you guys had a really great holiday. I guess the last time we spoke to you was right before Christmas. So we had a couple episodes launch between those two times, so between Christmas and New Year's, and now we're back. So basically the way we're gonna be rolling with everything is every Tuesday. If you sign up for our newsletter, which you can do at our website, simply-seasonal.com, sign up for our newsletter, and then every Tuesday you'll get our new episode sent out. And then at noon on that Tuesday, we do a live with questions. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Franco.
Thanks for joining. Hey, Franco. We're on Instagram and Facebook. So then in these lives, you can bring your questions about maybe episodes that you've seen in the past that you wanna get clarified. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of roll from here because we've had a couple questions already on a couple episodes. The last one we had was our episode on fat.
Yeah, so we talk about using meats and stuff in our fat episode, which, you know, it gets confusing. We love to promote that a healthy grass-fed animal is a healthy thing to do in moderation, right? Like, especially here in Texas, I see these plates where half the plate is full of meat and then like a quarter of potato and a quarter of vegetable.
Yeah.
It should be like half your plate is vegetables, right? With a little bit of carbs and a little bit of meat. And the way I like to kind of incorporate that is by not having, it is nice to sit down with a steak sometimes just to get that feeling, but if you can cut it up and use it more as like flavoring and more of like a stir fry idea, right? So like cutting it into pieces and then the meat is incorporated everywhere in the meal, so your meat eaters are happy. And then also you're getting lots of your veggies and fiber and all that also.
Yeah, it's really good. Like last night, Danny and I had leftovers from this curry that we had the night before, and the curry came with some fish. So we had some fish left, some curry, and so we just made a little bit more rice and cooked it all together. And so the fish, if you had just maybe that much, you might be like, oh, that wasn't a lot of fish for me. But when you put it in the meal, now there was enough for both of us, and it also allows us
save some money.
Save some money. So you can buy a high quality piece of meat and cut it up and use it in your food rather than sitting down and being like, oh, now I have to buy like a full piece of meat for people, which is going to be really expensive. So it's also a way to
Hey, Franco says that he loves the oil episode. Thank you, Franco.
Thanks,
We
Franco.
think that episode was so important. We've gotten a lot of feedback on it. Oils can be so confusing, and I feel like we did a good job of really categorizing and narrowing down which ones you should have and which ones you shouldn't. So
yeah,
make
and
sure
that
to check
episode came out this morning. So thanks, Franco, for watching it. And it's just really like good to know. Unfortunately, we can't trust what's on our shelves. It says it's something, but in America, we don't have an olive oil association. So there's nothing anyone has to abide by when it comes to olive oil, when it comes to really any oil. They can literally call it anything they want. And they'll add in little dyes, they'll add in perfumes actually, which add flavor to make it taste like an olive oil when it's really just canola oil, sunflower oil that's been dyed with olive flavor. And so that's like a lot of the major brands out there. So you'll learn more about that in the oil episode. We talk all about that.
Okay, so another question I got last week was, is red meat healthy?
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I get that one all the time. So again, just since the 80s when this whole fat-free, trend and fad came about, meat got a really bad rap. And it's true, in America, we have overeaten meat. Since we created these huge farming techniques, we've been able to to produce a ton for not a lot of money. So we're also used to getting meat for very cheap, which is not reality. Meat's very, very expensive. It should be hard to afford meat. And that's a good thing because like we were saying, it shouldn't be the star of your plate. It should be kind of the side and you fill it up with the veggies and everything else that's actually cheaper.
And traditionally, right, the animal was sacrificed or meat was eaten for a special occasion, right? It was usually a holiday or some big life event or a wedding or something like that. It wasn't something that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week.
No.
And so if you're in this mindset that you need meat in every meal, I'd like you to reconsider that and realize that, you know, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, and protein's in everything. Protein's in a piece of kale, protein's in beans, it's in everything. So you actually get your protein intake pretty quick. You know, it's a myth thinking we have to do.
But going back to that red meat versus other meat, I think that variety is huge. So there's a quality and an energy to beef that doesn't exist in other, like in chicken
I love
or
this.
in pork.
I know where she's going with this.
Right?
I love it.
So
because it's energy. I like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it's a different kind of energy, and also a different kind of vitamin source, right? So it's like your body might identify it one way from one source as opposed to the other. So I think that giving yourself the full spectrum is really important. I think that, you know, you can get I always go back to this example. If anyone goes to a yoga class where the teacher keeps telling you, you know, keep your arms straight over your head, and then somebody else says, keep your shoulder in line with your elbow, and then like you do the same, you realize they're saying the same thing, but you heard it in a different way. So it's kind of like when we add variety, we might be getting the same vitamins. Yeah, this has protein, and this has protein, and this has vitamin C, and this has vitamin C, but you're getting it from a different source. And I think that's kind of cool for your body to feel that and know that from all different directions.
Right, and energetically, a cow is very big, right? When we're talking red meat, we're usually talking cows or wild game. That might be, you know, they're roaming, they're big, they're warm, right? So this is something, again, when we're talking about seasons, it's good to have that during the winter, right? They're bigger, they're warmer, they're hardier, versus something like a chicken, which literally flies. Hopefully it should fly. Your chicken should fly. Yeah. Conventional ones
That's
don't.
not the right chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, so they fly, they're flighty, but that also means it's going to be giving you a little bit of that energy. So sometimes people, and Kara does this very well, she's like, sometimes you can tell when people are chicken people who eat chicken all the time. They literally are a little flighty. They're little, you know, like go from this thing to that thing to this thing to that thing. And then there are other people who are like the cow and steak people who are very grounded, maybe sluggish, maybe a little stubborn, you know, really I have to eat more vegetables. Couch potatoes. They're maybe eating too much steak and red meat. So it's the energies of food that we can look at too, of what do you need? You know, this is why you mentioned it when you're sick with vegetable or with
we reach for chicken soup, right? And it's like,
because you want more of that energy. You don't want some of that more grounding when you're already down. So it can help lift you up a little bit more. So the energies of food are there. All food is good for you, really, at the end of the day. It's just we tend to obsess in a lot of areas, specifically the meat areas, specifically the sugar areas, specifically the refined grain areas. That's what we need to pump the brakes on and go, here's all these veggies, all these other things that we can fill our plates with.
So we love our fats, and we've talking about fats, but you know, fat plays a little bit, goes a long way. So it's not like, you know, so more of like a keto diet would be like high fat diet. I feel like that's a little too, I mean, that's putting your body in a different state.
Ketosis is a state of fear. Your body thinks you're starving, so yes, it's effective to lose weight. But be careful. Just know that your body is in this fear-based state, so it's burning through everything to help you get out of whatever situation that you're in because it thinks it's stressed. So just keep that in mind. Ketosis is a real thing. It is very effective, but it's not something that you should be living your whole life in because you're going to start getting other health issues down the line. So again, this is why when you see all these trends and fads, they're usually based on a bit of truth, which is great. But for sustainability, that's when we really go to seasonal eating. You can just come right back, come right back, because it's back to basics. It's what
and
we've
that's
been
what
doing.
I love about seasonal eating. We got something going on here. Sorry, they're fighting over a sheep.
I'm so sorry.
When I think about it, we're really going, as you follow us through the year, we're going to hit on all these. It's like, so a keto diet is a little bit more what we're leaning towards right now, even though we're saying don't do it as extreme.
Yeah.
But as we move into like spring and summer, we're going to bring you more into like major vegetable, vegetarian and a vegan
Cleansing,
based.
maybe juicing.
So I
Yes.
feel like all these diets have a place and a time, and you kind of just have to shift through it.
That's
with
a
the
really
season.
good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, like the paleo stuff might be really good for winter, and then vegan, if you wanted to go vegan, that would be a great thing for spring and summer. So you can, if you wanted to stick with these diets, you could, but you just have to know what it's energetically doing to the body and what energetic times of year are good for them. That's why when people do it year round, they
It's
get
not
out,
sustainable.
they don't feel good anymore. They're like, why did this feel good back then but not now? It's just not matching the energy.
Yeah. We got it going on here.
Yeah. It's just simply seasonal.
Follow us, please. Follow us.
Yeah. And anyone else have any questions, please feel free to type it in. And from here on as well, if you watch our episodes, please feel free to use, if you follow us on Facebook or on Instagram, either send us DMs or comment on any of our posts, and you can add your questions there too throughout the week whenever it comes to you, after you watch our episode. And then we'll address them every Tuesday at noon live here.
Yeah, this is our time. Tuesday at noon. Grab your lunch, have lunch with us.
Yeah, we have
Hang
our
out.
turmeric lattes.
That got spilled all over Megan's car and all over Bodhi. Bodhi
He's
has
yellow.
orange hands. But which, by the way, he is yellow. And so am I, because I have been preparing kimchi for today's filming episode, because we're going to be talking about immunity, and we're going to be preparing kimchi and showing you how easy that is.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, the immunity episode's gonna be great. It'll come out in a couple weeks, so yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to spread the word with your friends and family who might find it useful, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I want to make sure I save it.